Welcome to ForRealSportsFans.com podcast. I am your host, Shannon. I'm joined by Raymond, Randy, and Kevin. Today we are going to dive into the sports topics of the week, and this is where real sports fans discuss sports. So, fellas, let's get into it once again. Who should win NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year? We're going to start with Raymond on that one.
Well, with the three quarterbacks, Andrew Luck, RG3, and Russell Wilson, right now I might have to give the edge to Russell Wilson, just because he's put his team in contention right now to actually win the NFC West, something that no one thought was possible in the beginning of the year with San Francisco in that division. Also, you have Russell Wilson having to pretty much carry the load. They scored 50 points in their last two games, and then they're blowing out, as we speak, the San Francisco 49ers. So he should have been very impressive all year. He's been pretty steady. He's improved each week. I think RG3, he's been very dynamic, but he only has 2,900 yards passing. So, and Andrew Luck, he's thrown, quite a few interceptions. He had 18 interceptions this year. So Russell Wilson, he's been that guy that's been a steady force for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I really agree with you on that. I mean, it really comes down to those three. And also, with RG3, like you say, he's dynamic. And it's like, it's something special about him. But from last year, Washington had won 4. It was 4-12 last year. So they're right now at 8. But 9-6. So if they go ahead and win another game, or if they lose to the Cowboys, they'd be 9-7. They either be 10-6 or 9-7. So that's only like a 6-game difference from where last year, Andrew Luck was 2-14 with Indianapolis. And they come this year, Peyton Manning sitting out the whole year, and then Andrew Luck coming this year, and now they're 10-5 right now. So you talk about an 8-game difference right there. That's taking the franchise from being first-round draft pick for this year coming season to a playoff pick. So, and then also with Russell Wilson, you talk about playing with Seattle, who last year was a playoff team, but coming into this year, I mean, you don't really expect, but Marshawn Lynch really taking over, and they had Matt Flynn as the starter at the beginning of the year. So then Russell Wilson come in and shock everybody and come in and start playing, and he's doing a good job, but you have to look at Andrew Luck and what he has done. It is expected for a rookie to have a whole lot of interceptions, but he still went ahead and took over and got his team in the playoffs now. So he's the only one right now playing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, my pick would be Russell Wilson simply because of the leadership he displays. I'm not big in the stats on rookies. I'm looking at guys to me that look like they're going to be around for a while, someone who might be able to use the same style of play that they're using today and continue that on for the next 5-10 years, and possibly, hopefully move into like a Hall of Fame caliber player. I would hate to pick someone that I don't think is going to be able to play at the level that they're showing us today, and that's why I would go with Russell Wilson. He stays in the pocket when he has to. He runs simply just to avoid being sacked and to make a play on his feet when the coverage is tight on his receivers. I'm just a big fan of his. I like the leadership he displays. It's quite obvious who the man is on that team, much like these other guys in Andrew Luck and RG3. The guy Martin down there in Tampa Bay, I just want to give him a nod. He's a strong running back. They just haven't won the game this year. The team's kind of imploding right now. But I would simply give it to Russell Wilson because I don't see his style of play fading. Whereas RG3, I'm looking at as soon as he gets his first injury, which just happened a couple weeks ago, man, he looks he's already starting to display some of those characteristics that has Michael Vick in the hot seat. I know he's nothing like him, but if you rely on legs as much as he does, and he's so fast that he doesn't know anything else but that speed, if he loses a step, it's almost like you don't know what to come next with him. Versus if Russell Wilson, I'm feeling if he wasn't able to run as hard as he does, he'd still be okay. So that's my pick.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree with that. And also with RG3, he has Alfred Morris, another rookie that should get some consideration as well.
With 10 touchdowns rushing, I believe.
Right, and over 1,300 yards rushing, and I mean he's been very impressive this year. So, but yeah, I would agree with Russell Wilson. He's
looking at the biggest games you talked about, Randy, and the fact that they're averaging 50 points a game, and that's including today's game. So that's almost 4 straight games with a 50-point average. And over that span, Marshawn Lynch has been very limited and quiet in terms of his amount of touches. Today, they had to make a concerted effort to make sure they put the ball in his hands because it was a glaring stat that the previous 3 games he hadn't even done much. And they put up, 140-some-odd points in those 3 games, almost without him. So they made a big effort today to go ahead and give him more carries and to feature him, especially in that first quarter, which is, I think that was just great coaching. But it just goes to show you that the ball is always in Russell's hands. He's making, I think against Buffalo, he had one of the longest quarterback runs of the season by any damn quarterback. I mean, the guy looks great, man. I can't believe everyone passed up on him. He's a winner. I heard his coach in college say he's won at every level. He was in a bunch of bowl games. He just never went to the major championship game, but he always won every bowl game he ever played in. He's low key. I just dig that. He's more of an underdog than the other guys, so that's why I would vote for him. But they don't ask me my opinion. In the NFL. But they should, damn it.
Yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, you know what? It's like, seriously, but you have to really consider what Andrew Luck has done. He's taken over for Peyton Manning.
And he had also put up 18 interceptions taking over for Peyton Manning. They cannot continue on that. Honestly, who would you rather face in the playoffs if you were a head coach, if you were an owner of a franchise? You would want to take on those Colts way before you take on Russell Wilson and those Seahawks.
Every playoff game is not going to be in Seattle. The numbers you talk about is all about in Seattle, man. When they on the road,
no, I mean they put up 50 in Buffalo. They put up 50 in San Francisco.
Toronto. For one, the Bills shouldn't be playing home game in Toronto. And I'm glad you said the Buffalo Bills. So since you said the Buffalo Bills, do you see anyone? You know what? I'm gonna stay on topic. But anyone,
unfortunately, we cannot give Tony Romo this award. So let's move on.
The Cowboys play for the NFC East Championship coming Sunday. And we'll be talking about that very shortly.
Yeah.
So when we get to that, I have a lot to say, and you have absolutely nothing to say. So I can't wait for that segment. So let's go.
Well, actually, speaking of the Cowboys, who do you guys think will win between the Cowboys versus the Redskins?
I'm gonna go with. Well,
I mean, if my team was like, what's your team? Like 5 or 10 right now, the Bills? Yeah, I will play in Toronto too. But anyway.
Yeah. I gotta take my fantasy, Randy. You're right.
Come on, man.
Big game. Coming down. It's a blessing to be able to have. With just 1 or 2 weeks left on the schedule, you got a game that really affects everything for the NFC. So, from a football fan, it's a big deal. I'm just pissed that once again the Cowboys got to take center stage. And I would pick, of course, the Redskins. Let's go London Fletcher. I'm rooting for London Fletcher, baby.
Oh, man.
Well,
okay. And what I got to say about that whole situation you talking about with Washington, like I said, I definitely respect RG3. I give it to the kid. You know what I mean? He's definitely showing everybody that, he got skills, that he can definitely, he's a dynamic player. He can put up numbers. But at the same time, man, you talking about the team. That you can just see the heart in them. You know what I mean? You got to be real about it. They got to fight. They won 5 out of the last 7. Who does that after starting off 3-5? When you're 3-5, you don't even think about the playoffs. You play for the last game of the season for the NFC East Championship. Come on, man. They went through adversity, tragedy, and they fought out as a team. And Jason Garrett got them focused, man. Like they went overtime today against the Saints and lost, but at the same time they won. Because now they're playing for the championship next week. They know they got to be focused and they're ready. They just went overtime in a shootout. Tony Romo, 400, like almost 450 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Randy, as much as I appreciate your Rudy style pep talk, let's just keep it simple. The game is in Washington. Division rival. All the momentum is swinging toward Washington. RG3 was, he's going to be a lot closer to 100% during this particular game.
And that's why it's going to be even sweet for us to go in there and rip their heart out, having a whole week now to prepare for them, not playing on Thanksgiving. We just got a couple of days from a Sunday game to Thursday to prepare for one of the most dynamic players in the NFL. Like, come on, give me a break, man. Who do they do that to?
And that is true.
Man, I'm not doing no rah-rah. These are facts, man.
Is DeMarco Murray 100%?
Yes, they are. Who?
DeMarco Murray, is he 100%?
Yeah, definitely. And that might be the difference in this game. That might be the difference in the game because he didn't play on Thanksgiving, in the first meeting. So, and I'm gonna go with the Cowboys too. Just as a fan, just because.
No.
I would go with him.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And there's a couple.
I understand when my team always lose to a team, especially in 2 Super Bowls. I would definitely feel the same way you feel right now.
Okay, this is the cross I got to say. My team is terrible. We're desperate for a win. We get that. But we're talking about playing in Washington.
Right.
In the cold. With the hot young quarterback who many believe will win the Rookie of the Year. I think Washington is going to pull it out, man.
Yeah,
I'm not being biased against Dallas. I think that's going to be a tough game for Jason Garrett.
Well, it will be a battle. It definitely will be a battle. But for a few reasons, I think the Cowboys will win. Like I said, Rob Ryan and his defense will have at least 7 days to prepare for this game. Now, they still have players out, so that is a problem. But with RG3's knee injury, could play a huge factor in this game with him not being as mobile as usual. And even in today's game, he didn't take off as much. So now you have to play a conventional style offense, just to play, a regular offense, base offense, and that takes the dynamic part out of the whole, Redskins offense. And that's what makes them go is RG3 being able to fake it off to Morris and being able to run or throw the bomb or whatever he likes to do. So it kind of slows the game up a little bit. It's going to be a battle. The Cowboys' offense is clicking. They're not waiting until the second half to just get it going. They're starting to play complete games, and that's why I'll go with the Cowboys on that one.
You know what? Even though I'm a fan, I'm not being biased on this. I'm just being real, and this is the honest truth. If you really look at it, we ever talk about the Cowboys and the Redskins playing for the NFC East Championship this coming Sunday, but we're in the same division of the defending Super Bowl champs, and they're not involved in that whole matchup. Why are we not discussing that?
Yeah.
If Kevin want to talk about the Cowboys, you got to remember that, man. Defending Super Bowl champs is in that division. And we talk about Washington and Dallas in the championship game. In the NFC East.
Well, that might be the biggest.
You can't respect football.
That might be the biggest issue in this whole thing, though, is that the Giants had a 2-game lead not too long ago, before they played the Redskins on that Monday night, and now they need help to just get into the wild card. So, and they definitely don't have a chance.
They lost to the Ravens. That was a big one. That was a big loss right there.
Yep, definitely.
All right, now we're going to switch gears a little bit. What games are you looking forward to on Christmas Day?
Wait.
I'm really looking forward to the Lakers and New York Knicks. That's a big matchup right there. Steve Nash being back. The Lakers going to probably have their starting five working together, going against one of the hottest teams in the East right now. The New York Knicks with Carmelo leading the game. Kyrie Murray coming back, coming off the bench. You know what I mean? They got J.R. Smith and Jason Kidd balling. Even Rasheed Wallace playing with them. So it's going to be a heck of a matchup going against the White and Steve Nash and Kobe now. get some help with Steve Nash, it's going to be exciting. This is definitely a game I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, the Lakers won 4 straight. You know, and I guess they're going to look for 5 straight against the Knicks. That's at the Staples Center. But OKC versus the Heat, I want to see how KD and Russell Westbrook, how they'll look against LeBron and D Wade and company. I want to see if this is just a regular season game to them, or will they have revenge on their mind?
Well, I just want to take this time on this topic to once again take my hat off to the entire NFL for making the NBA completely irrelevant up until this point. I mean, they've done their job. Unlike years past, everyone's foaming at the mouth. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Bills fans are happy and other teams, but, putting my team aside, I don't even care. I still love to see the NFL being played. I watch it all day Sunday. All these games are, high impact. We just talked about Dallas. As late as it is in the season, to have a game that big means something that people are barely paying attention to the NBA. I mean, let's just put it out there. And that's all with the respect due to the NFL. To the point where I'm not even sure exactly the entire schedule. I do know, of course, the games you talked about, guys, and of course, I want to see those games, especially that OKC Miami. But I mean, who are we kidding? You got the Brooklyn Nets going against former world championship Boston Celtics. That's sports right there. That's NBA history in the making. That's the game I'm watching. Rajon Rondo, #1 point guard in the league, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good game. I believe that's in Brooklyn, right?
Williams. Wow.
Yeah, in the new Brooklyn Arena. That's going to be a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, you can believe that.
Yeah.
I definitely believe that. That's the early game. I believe that comes on at 12. So, right after you're unwrapping all your gifts, Randy, you got your pajamas with the feet on them, playing with your little toy trucks and your fire engines and all of that. You can sit back and watch the Celtics win. So, you can thank Santa for that, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, well, this concludes our podcast. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, be sure to visit ForRealSportsFans.com. Till next time, see you later.